Alright, I had a bit of a freak out this morning and we're not supposed to leave LA for 3 more days, but we're gonna be leaving tomorrow because I gotta get the hell out of here. I gotta get back to New York. All right, I'm ready. Is Candace a good cook? No! Why do you think we eat out 3 meals a day, 7 days a week? One time she made me cereal and she put too much milk in it.
I feel that 2016 is going to be different from 2015.
The question was, do I think 2000 different? Yeah, I think it's gonna be different. You know, personally going into 2015, there was so much uncertainty, and now the trajectory is fairly well defined. And I would say like exactly the same for my professional life. And now is much less about figuring it out, much more about doing it. And that's one of those like sort of aphorisms that I always say, is that in life you should only ever be doing one of two things: figuring it out or doing it. And last year was about figuring it out. This year is about doing it. How do I see Owen in 2016? Good question. Owen's been in the vlog the last couple days. Owen hasn't been in the vlog much this past year because he's a senior in high school now, and like my little baby's all grown up. And looking ahead, like he's leaving and going to college at the end of this year, which will be the first time that I cry on this vlog. Not to get sappy on you, but I don't know how I'm supposed to handle that kid going to college. Cody asks, what's the biggest mistake in your career? When I was having a tough time, instead of just working through it, I stopped to try to figure things out. I took a break. And that manifested as like, you know, 2 years of my life going by where I didn't do anything, I didn't make anything. I think I could have learned what took me 2 years of nothingness. I could have learned that in a month of working. I always think like the work has always shown me the path, and when I look back, every mistake, every screw up, every regret that I have in my career can always be attributed to not working hard enough. What's one thing you don't want to happen in 2016? Here's a little bit of a loaded response to that. I was really gung-ho about moving to LA ASAP, as soon as possible, but I've kind of had a tough time here the last couple weeks, so I think that moving here should not happen in the next 12 months. It should still happen, but not in the next 12 months. So one thing that I don't want to have happen in 2016 is I don't want to leave New York in 2016. That was a snuff, or a keys, a sneeze and a cough combination.
What technology do you think will be trendy in 2016?
What technology will be trendy? I think drones. It's all about drones. All drone footage that you see is just like beautiful aerial shots, which get boring fast. As drones advance, they'll become much more dynamic and they'll be able to think for themselves. That's when it's going to get exciting. I want a drone, and there's been a bunch of teases that this is coming, that I just throw up in the air and it follows me around. And when that happens, I think like we're gonna see a big shift in the way that people like myself and other YouTubers make content.
Hi Casey, what's your best advice for staying positive for 2016?
I mean, I think the key to positivity in any year is just taking a big step back, zooming out, and getting a little perspective on where you are and what's going on in life. Life could be much, much worse. There are a lot of people in this world dealing with absolutely horrible situations, but if you're not, and I hope you're not, I'm not, appreciate that. And I think the way you pay it forward, the way that your obligation for the world for having a good life is by being positive. Whenever I'm sort of down or I'm being an I remind myself of that, and I work hard towards positivity.
Hey Casey, so my question is, what is going to be your measure of success for yourself in 2016? Keep making great videos.
Reed, your little girl is adorable. That's a great question. I always think it's important to give yourself assigned metrics and like concrete goals. Otherwise, what are you holding yourself to? And this is a good question for me to end this Q&A on. One of my biggest goals for 2016 is to just completely double down on YouTube. Going into 2015, when I started vlogging, I talked about sort of the why YouTube to me, why YouTube to the world is so relevant as an artist, as a filmmaker, as someone who likes to share ideas and perspectives, why YouTube is so important. And going into 2016, I feel different about that in that I'm even more passionate about that idea. I think the relevance of this medium has only gone up in the last year, and I want to invest everything I can into that. Okay, that's it for Q&A today. LA 2015, that's it for Q&A. I'll see you in the next Q&A, which will be in 2016. Last night in California, we are spending it on the beach, enjoying the sunset. Pretty special. Also, this is my sister. Also, that's Francine. It's basically the same thing. Hi, Bobby.
In my little world, only girl. In my little world, only girl. In my little world, only girl. In my little world, only girl.
And that is the last sunset of our trip to Los Angeles. You want to get food? You're not getting back down in the sand.
In my little world, only girl.
Skateboards are so much cooler than hoverboards.